Hey friends, welcome to One Flight Down, welcome to the Terry Isle Tasting Lounge, and welcome to another Back of the Beer Fridge Sunday. Today, we are checking out a vanilla porter from the Barnhammer Brewing Company right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. This one is called Night Train. All right, Night Train. I picked this up quite a while back. I mean, it's been sitting in the back of the beer fridge probably since last summer, maybe. But I remember picking it up. And the reason I picked it up is I like the name, just because it reminds me of the Guns N' Roses song, which in turn was named after a notorious, really cheap wine in the United States. I remember in the early 90s, you could buy a bottle of Night Train, which comes in at 18% alcohol. You could buy a bottle of that for $1.25. Yeah, so it's quite notorious for really getting people messed up and for being really cheap. Now, I don't know if that was the inspiration that Barnhammer went for, but it was what inspired me to pick it up anyway. I actually had a friend once say to me, "Oh, you should get a bottle of that stuff and do a Night Train episode." And it's like, no, I've had a Night Train episode and I don't want another one. I am never touching that stuff again. Anyway, this is the closest I'm getting to a Night Train episode. So, vanilla porter, nice simple can art with the train on it and everything. Vanilla porter, smooth, dark fruit, and vanilla are the tasting notes on the back. Oh, it's only 5.2% alcohol. For some reason I was expecting this to be really strong. It's probably why I wasn't drinking it for so long, as I had this weird expectation that it was going to be really strong. But it's not, 5.2% for a vanilla porter. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one. Generally, porters seem to age just fine, so I think it'll be better than some of the other Back of the Beer Fridge Sunday beers I've done. Whoa, there's a lot. Look at that. Wow. A messy pour I'm getting on this. All right. Well, I'm just going to clean up the little mess I made at my table and let that settle a bit. All right, here I am like about 15 minutes later. I think it's finally settled enough. I'm going to pour more in. It's probably going to get even more active. Quite surprising for a porter. That wasn't exactly a hard pouring that, but it did have a pretty frothy shaklook. So yeah, so probably something to do with that. But yeah, it's a nice dark looking porter. The nice fluffiness on the head. A deep tan head, I would say. Okay, let's get a nose on this. Despite all the activity and everything, there's not much coming through on the nose. I'm not really getting that vanilla note or really any of the kind of, kind of roasty notes you sometimes expect from a porter. Or any kind of darker beer, usually get some kind of a roasted note on the nose. This is like, yeah, there's really not much coming through on the nose at all on this. Yeah, all right, let's go in for a sip. Cheers, my friends. Some tasty foam. Got a pretty thick mouthfeel, really. The creaminess to it, a lot of that might be the foam. I do get some vanilla, but I'm getting more. It said something about dried fruit or dark fruit. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that in here. Yeah, kind of like a raisin kind of a thing. Yeah, reminds me of some of the beers you get around Christmas time, where you get those kind of like almost like a Christmas cake kind of flavor to it. Those kind of dried fruits that are in there. But yeah, like I'm gonna say but more raisin. I get like raisin, like a bit of like maybe even plum. yeah, like it's that taste that comes out first. And then the vanilla is kind of there more on the back end. Now, as I said, this beer is over a year old, sitting in my fridge, so it's not really, might not be the most fair description of it from what it would be fresh. Although, I have been told that actually one of the best ways to age a beer is actually in a can, because it's not getting any light in there to mess it up or anything. And yeah, I've also heard that porters can sit for quite a while and still be pretty good. Not saying this is bad, but it's a lot different from what I would expect from a vanilla porter. If you'd called it something else, if you'd called it like something suggesting the holidays or something suggesting more of like a dessert beer or something along those lines, that's more what I'm getting out of it than vanilla. Usually vanilla porter, it's like that's what you taste. It's just that vanilla, but that's just such a small part of what this is. It's decent, but just not exactly what I was expecting. Anyway, now we are at my favorite part of Back of the Beer Fridge Sunday, when I go to the back of the beer fridge and see what we're going to do on the next Back of the Beer Fridge Sunday. Except I'm not going to do that today. No, what? You're messing with the rules of Back of the Beer Fridge Sunday? Yeah, I am. I have something special planned for the next Back of the Beer Fridge Sunday. I'm not going to tell you right now what it is. That episode should be up mid-February. So, yeah, keep checking the channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Keep your eyes open, see what that's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Just a little bit of a twist on what I normally do for Back of the Beer Fridge Sunday. All right, my friends, thank you so much for dropping by the Terry Isle Tasting Lounge. We'll see you all again real soon, my friends. Cheers.
Go home.